All right, we're gonna get into part two with talking to the hooks. And as I left off, I asked the question about because what I really want to know is what do you think, especially from a male perspective, actually, Will? Why do you think a man would do that? If I ask him for his publicist's information and his manager's information, what? Why do you think he's giving me his personal number versus giving me the information that I'm asking for? If it is in fact me trying to do some business with him.
But that's a twofold answer. The short answer is there is no protocol. In a professional environment, there must be a business-minded protocol.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that, we are, friends. We have friends who are in the entertainment business, but yet friendship is friendship, business is business. And even if you don't know the person and you're trying to conduct a business relationship with them, must that professionalism that goes first. And that's something that is greatly lacking, specifically in the entertainment field because of the idea of access. Secondly, a lot of people, specifically men, have failed to make the transition from boys to men. So we kind of operate on the curve. We don't do it by the numbers. We don't do it in a format that is seen as professional. And so, in one sense, they're trying to get a feel for the person. And as you said earlier, if they get to the point where they say, okay, well, I'm not interested or I don't want to pursue something as it relates to a relationship, at that point, then they want to switch back and now try to build a bridge based on professionalism. But the expression that says your first impression is a lasting one.
Yeah.
What you've done is ruin that first impression because now the individual, the person may have in their eyes that you are all about, games or you're all about, just trying to facilitate yourself. So again, it goes back to professionalism. There must be protocol. Even if you and I, for example, I just want to use us for an example. We're doing a interview right now, but at the end of this, you have not given me full access to you whereby I can just call you up tomorrow or this, that, and the other. I will still respect you and your role and your position by communicating with you through your publicist or my publicist until we build that relationship whereby you feel comfortable enough with Will Hooks where you say, Will, email me here, or Will, this is my personal number, and you can contact me directly. But until then, we must operate under that protocol.
Okay. What if it's a lie? Because I've actually had that one incident happen to me 3 times, and I think the 3rd time was when it was like the absolute worst. And I was really, really angry with that person because when they decided they didn't want to be friends or whatever you want to call it with me anymore, that was the whole thing. It was sort of like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You talk to my manager now. And I was really upset. It really hurt me because it was just like, okay, so now how does this make me look? Because I asked for what I wanted in the beginning, which was your manager's and your publicist's information. Was he an attractive individual? Of course he was. Was I attracted to him? Yes, but that was not my initial intention. But it's like you opened that door, and now all of a sudden, this is what I don't understand. That it seems to be a double standard, especially in the music industry. Like, now you open this door, I've accepted, I've walked through that door. Why am I now the bad guy when I asked for what I wanted in the beginning? Because you changed your mind. I haven't changed my mind. I separate business from the personal. If I'm going to, if you're an artist and I'm dealing with you, I'm going to interview you like I don't even hate you. If I hate you personally, I'm still going to interview you. I'm still going to promote your music. I'm still going to put you out there because from a professional standpoint, the public has an interest in what you're doing, and that's what news is for. As a journalist, my job is to keep my public and my fans informed on what's going on. So I've been trying to, maybe get other people's opinion on that. Like, did I really, maybe the next time, I think the next time I'm definitely going to be like, no, I want your managers or your PR's information. And if you don't have it, then I can't do this interview. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do this interview. But I literally have fallen for that 3 times. And all 3 times, I really believe that these men were professional enough and were educated enough to understand, be able to separate the difference. You know what I mean? The first 2, the last 2 outrightly lied and say they didn't have a manager or they didn't have a PR. The first one, he didn't lie and say he didn't have one, but he didn't give me their information. He gave me his personal information. And I just didn't understand it. Like, I didn't get it. It's like, why are you now angry with me, or you're upset with me because the personal thing didn't work out? Now you keeping me from the business. You get what I'm saying? Now you, or they'll change their mind and say, no, I don't want to do an interview now. And I'm like, I don't understand why you don't want to do an interview, or have me chasing for the interview. And in my mind, I'm thinking, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to this person? Like, I just met you. You were cool. You seemed normal, which is what made me want to interview you in the first place. And of course, I don't mind making friends. I'm a Pisces. We make friends with everybody. We love everybody. We're very, very open. But now it's like, either I'm not interested in you anymore, so you don't want to do business with me anymore, or you're not interested in me, so now you don't want to do business anymore. When it was like, my first approach to you was about business. Why did you circumvent that? Like, I don't know. Maybe, like you said, because of men, it's a what do you call it? It's a thing that they have as far as having access. So what do you think, Odette, as a female, what do you think that I should have done in that situation?
In that, first of all, my policy would immediately change. My policy would be, if you do not have a manager or a publicist or someone who sits in that position for you, then we can't do the interview. Because obviously you're going to lose the interview anyway if he's playing games with you.
Right. Right.
My next one is, if I institute that policy and you tell me this is your manager's or your PR rep's number, and I call and it's you, I will immediately let them know I need a manager or a PR rep's number. No matter how many times he or she would try to overtalk me, this is how we do business. This is our protocol. This is our policy here. This is how we do business. Because your PR reps and your managers are going to know things that you may not be aware of, that we can filter out. So, I mean, of course, I would keep tack with it, but I would have that policy put in place, and obviously that policy would have to be one of those policies that you don't bend on, that you don't break. You'd have to stay firm with that policy, and that way, as time progresses and other people want to approach you, there'll already be that image out there that, you know what, with Queen, if you come to her, you got to come to her the right way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So here's my next question. What would you say is the most popular mistake that couples make during their first year of marriage?
Oh, communicating, I would say.
Communication? Failure to communicate?
A woman wants her man to communicate, and that's what we have issues with, trying to get them to communicate. And I'll let Will tell you what his perspective is as a man.
I think the worst mistake most couples make, apart from the idea that they are in love, no qualms about that, but the biggest mistake is trying to live up to the image of marriage based on what you see other people doing. I mean, let's just be for real. I'll use us for an example. When we got married, I had never been married before in my life. I did not know what to expect. Didn't know, what to do, when to do it, what not to do. And my only recourse was to basically look around and see what was happening around me. And so I tried to do that and facilitate it in my own marriage. And the only thing we were doing was living up to an image. And it, for lack of a better term, it sucked. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big mistake that couples make, because you don't want anybody in your business. You don't want anybody to know that you're having difficulty. He won't talk, she won't listen, this, that, and the other. So when you get around family, when you go to church, when you go anywhere, you're putting on a front that everything is cool. We really love each other, and that might be the case. But as my wife said, the fact that you cannot communicate with each other is really tearing at the core of the relationship.
Okay. Okay, cool. So tell everybody where they can find your book.
Well, they can go to Amazon.com and they can find our book. It's called Good Gravy, A Recipe to a Great Relationship. Or if they're Kindle fans, they can go on Kindle.com and they can get the book there. Actually, it's only $2.99 on Kindle. So if they're Kindle fans, if they can download the app, they are welcome to do that. They can also see us on our website at www.willandodette.com, or they can follow us on Facebook and YouTube at Will and Odette.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys, you hooks, for talking to me and giving me some advice. And of course, we're going to follow up on that policy. Okay. So anybody that's out there watching, I know that I'm hot, but look, if I want to interview, I just want to interview. I don't want to date you. I want your PR's information. I want your manager's information, or no interview.